We all have that person in our lives, the one who seems immune to irritation. They navigate traffic jams, deal with impossible coworkers, and handle massive disappointment, all without raising their voice or showing a single flicker of rage. It's easy to look at them and assume they are simply born with a calm gene or that they suppress their true feelings. But that's a dangerous myth. The truth is, people who never get angry haven't mastered suppression. They've mastered prevention. They use a set of psychological frameworks that stop the anger response before it can ever start. This isn't about ignoring your feelings, it's about reversing the entire cognitive process of how you perceive a threat. This is the reversal method applied to the most destructive emotion, anger. Rule 1. The expectation reversal, the gap. Anger is not caused by an event, it's caused by the gap between what you expected and what actually happened. If you expect a perfect system, you will be furious when it fails. The non-angry person closes that gap by reversing their default expectation. They operate under the law of predictable imperfection. They don't expect the traffic light to be green. They don't expect the client to be prepared. They don't expect the technology to work flawlessly. By expecting imperfection as the default state of the world, they neutralize the shock that fuels rage. When something goes wrong, they don't feel anger, they feel confirmation. Ah yes, the system is imperfect, just as expected. Rule 2. The cognitive story switch. When a colleague delivers a sharp criticism or a stranger cuts them off, the average person immediately creates a hostile narrative. They did this to me on purpose. This is a personal attack on my competence or time. This narrative is the fuel for anger. The calm person instantly executes the cognitive story switch. They substitute the hostile narrative with a compassionate, though not necessarily true, narrative. Instead of, that boss is deliberately disrespecting my work, they think, that boss must be under impossible pressure. This isn't about me, it's about their stress. By changing the story from malice to incompetence or struggle, they eliminate the perception of a threat, which instantly disarms the anger response. Rule 3. Anger as a boundary alert. Most people treat anger as a command to attack. The calm individual treats anger as information. They ask, what is this anger telling me about my boundary? They recognize that the feeling is a signal that something they value, their time, their peace, or their respect, has been violated. Crucially, they use this signal to set a boundary for the future, not to punish in the present. If someone consistently disrespects them, the anger is a red flag to change the dynamic or remove themselves from the situation, not to explode at the violator. The feeling is useful. The action is optional. Rule 4. The time delay anchor. This is the most actionable technique. They actively build the stoic gap, the small space between the stimulus, the trigger, and the response, the anger. When they feel the first flash of heat, they employ a simple physical or cognitive anchor that forces a delay. This could be counting backwards from 5, asking a clarifying question like, could you tell me what you mean by that? Or the simple act of taking a deep, slow breath. This simple 5-second delay is all the prefrontal cortex needs to reassert control over the emotional amygdala. They use this tiny window to execute the cognitive story switch, Rule 2, instead of defaulting to rage. The psychology of people who never get angry isn't a magic trick, it's a systematic choice. They simply refuse to hand over control of their internal state to external chaotic events. They are practicing the reversal method for emotional freedom. They reverse blame by anchoring to predictable imperfection. They reverse the narrative by assuming struggle instead of malice. They reverse the command by viewing anger as information for setting boundaries. And they reverse the speed by inserting a time delay anchor between trigger and response. If you are ready to stop letting traffic, technology, and difficult people dictate your emotional state, start small. Implement the time delay anchor today. If this analysis helped you rethink how you approach frustration, hit the like button and subscribe to the reversal method for more actionable psychological frameworks every week. Tell us in the comments, which of these 4 rules will you try first?